Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
We got Tanner Graham in the place to be.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So,
super cool.
I've been telling everybody that you are the arm wrestling champion of the world, pretty much.
Which is pretty far from the truth. I got started doing that like a year and a half ago, so I'm definitely not.
So you're kind of just getting into it.
Yeah.
But every video I see of you, you're just crushing, dude.
Yeah, that's clever editing. For sure.
Okay,
yeah, you never post your.
You're like, I lost
losses.
9 times, won once.
Post the winner.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how did you get into that?
Honestly, I've been arm wrestling like my whole life, like with my brothers and my dad, like on the kitchen table, you know. And
I stopped doing that, dude. I lose all the time. I would challenge you to one, but like, there's no sense.
Honestly, and that shit hurts. Like, arm wrestling on a table like this, is like all side pressure and just like tears your elbows up.
Yeah.
So,
I've pulled muscles arm wrestling.
Oh
like,
yeah,
so many times.
no, dude. Like 95% of people that arm wrestle like on a kitchen table, picnic table outside at somebody's hunting camp, whatever.
Yeah.
All do it wrong. And it hurts.
Yo, are you allowed to grab for leverage?
Yes. So
because I've seen you guys doing that, and I'm like, I thought you weren't. I thought that was a whole thing you weren't allowed to do.
So there's only a couple of rules in arm wrestling. Honestly, each table has typically a 7-inch by 7-inch elbow pad. Your elbow always has to be in contact with that.
Okay, so as long as your elbow's in contact,
and you have a peg to hold with your opposite hand,
right?
And that always has to be touching. It could be touching just the corner of the peg or whatever.
Right.
But it has to be touching.
Okay.
And then you have a pin line or a pin pad.
So can you take your hand off of the?
You're not allowed.
So you can't grab the table. Okay.
No, yeah, you can like grab the table, the side of the table, and just put your hand on the.
But
peg.
you're okay.
But
right.
or it could be on the top.
But it can't just come off at all.
Okay,
like so that's the official rules. I was wondering about that, like how that works, you know?
Yeah, and just like wrists straight and kind of like how you would think. But it's all like pulling. It's all everything's like a pulling motion. Yeah.
It's not like sideways.
Yes, exactly.
That's how you would think it would go, like this.
Yeah, you think
you're going like this.
Yeah, you kind of want to pull everything into your body and get really tight with your body. It's right. It's a whole thing. There's a lot to it. Honestly, it's like martial art.
What you have had to have won some titles. Like, how do I address who you are? Because I can't say arm wrestling champion of the world or of Canada Ontario.
No. So
what,
I'm
what title do you have? I want to brag about my friend.
Almost ranked in Ontario. Honestly, I'm one spot away.
So I was like, oh yeah, I know. You should see the podcast we just did. I just interviewed a guy who's almost ranked in Ontario for arm wrestling.
He is a higher level amateur at best.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I just moved up to pulling the open divisions or like pro divisions. I guess.
Right. Are you doing pretty good for an amateur? Like, people impressed,
average.
or people are
above
like,
average, probably for like how long I've been doing it. I just have to like cut some weight and get into it. Like, usually I'm.
Wait a minute, cut some weight?
Well,
they weigh
classes.
you? Really?
Yeah. It's like UFC.
Wow.
It's like it's like fighting. There's like all these weight classes, and then there's all like your champions for each weight class, and that's like provincial.
So you would have to
national.
cut because you're like 6'3".
I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. You're 6?
250.
Okay. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
250? I'm 250 and I'm 5'9". So that's kind of shows you.
Well, you carry it well.
Thanks, bro.
No, honestly, I provincially and like nationally, the weight class kind of stops like 242, and then it's like super heavyweight. So I cut weight down to 240 for this competition in Ottawa that was in the fall.
I'm actually interested in how you cut weight. Cardio and eat less calories.
Yeah. Well, I cut carbs on
because I'm trying to cut weight right now, not for any particular reason.
Well, this was like a very temporary cut.
But you,
it's okay.
You actively work out though, like
yes,
like
and I know what I need to do to like trim up, and you know, you eat in a calorie deficit. And you do more cardio, and you will lose weight.
It's just hard.
Like, you will lose weight 100%.
Tastes so good.
And McDonald's is up the road, dude. I eat like a piece of
you
shit.
live
all
close
the
to
time.
McDonald's?
No,
or just when you're working
I just,
and stuff?
always in
yeah, it's
Peterborough, and I'm
literally always up the road. No matter where you are in Ontario,
yes.
McDonald's.
There's
is
usually
up the road.
4 up the road. Yeah.
That or Tim Hortons.
Honestly, the best thing to do is just like eat in a calorie deficit and be walking around at the weight you want to be at. A lot of these guys.
I'm just gonna write something down.
Yeah, sure. A lot of these guys walk around at a heavier weight, like myself. Like in a more serious competition, you water cut. So you water load several days before you actually want to compete and weigh in.
Okay, yeah.
And then 24 hours before you weigh in, cut water. So I'm talking like water load, like 8 liters a day.
Because you can lose like 10 pounds of water weight in a week.
Easy.
Right?
24 hours.
So
I
you're
lost
saying
12 pounds of water.
Yeah.
I lost 12 pounds of water in 24 hours. More than that, actually. 14 pounds. Because I was 238 the morning of weigh-ins. And I was walking around at 252.
Just famished. Just out here fucking...
Yeah, dude, I was starving. Honestly. and
how long did you go without McDonald's? That's crazy, dude.
Oh, only a couple of days. Yeah. Only a few days, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I cut carbs on like the Tuesday, and I was competing on the Sunday because it was a novice division at the Ottawa Open.
And how'd you? Oh, it was in Ottawa. I saw that. I saw those videos. And stuff. That was in Ottawa that you were.
Yeah.
Just slamming dudes.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's sweet. No, I was like slamming dudes. Yo, so, yeah, man, we've known each other for a long time. We've come.
Yeah, I don't even know like the math on that. 2000.
When do you think we did we
2001 or 2002?
Did we know each other before we were in class together, right?
Grade 8, Mrs. Adams class.
But did we know each other before that or no? Did you ever know me as Curtis's cousin that came up from the big city?
No, I don't think so.
Because I used to come up on the weekends, and I kind of knew before I went to school in grade 8 in Minden. That's Minden. That's where I went to school. That's where he went to school. Miss Adams, the best. Still to this day, the best teacher.
Awesome.
I think I got drunk and messaged her one day and was like, "You're the best teacher ever."
That's hilarious.
Like 10 years later, but yeah, man. So. Maybe you knew me, maybe you didn't. Yeah. But that's in grade 8 in that class is when I started to first get into rap.
You were like the first person I was that was like, oh, I'm like into rap and Eminem and all this. I'm like, what?
You're like, that's not country?
Yeah. Like, because that's all, it's like country and rock.
Well, I started
listening
like
AC/DC, and, you know. Like,
well, bro, I got really into like Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. And then as soon as I heard Eminem, I was like every other white kid. I was just like, I love this dude. Because like anyway, so.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Like, I remember, like, my uncle had a Kid Rock CD in his
My
truck.
name is.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
So sick.
Kid Rock.
Like,
yeah, well, that's
I was like, oh, I shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Eminem was out back in the day. It was grade 8, and we had a book report. Do you remember anything about the book? Dude, if I could know what book that was.
I feel like it was like something about like 2 brothers and something.
I thought it was a son and his mom. That's the only dynamic I remember. It was a son and his mom or stepmom or something. Because that's how I even thought of the whole cleaning out my closet. So long story short, we had a book report to do, right? And it wasn't allowed to be a written book report.
No, you had to like present it.
You had to present it in some way. Some people did dioramas. Some people did whatever.
Did the Bristol board thing.
I was like, dude.
Yeah.
I've been listening to this guy named Eminem for a while now, right? And I'm like, this book kind of goes with this song. Yeah. We should do a remix of this song.
Yeah.
And until today, dude, I thought we worked on it together. I rapped it. Yeah. And then we both got credits because we both kind of came out with it. But you told me today you rapped.
I did, and it was definitely trash. Honestly, I wish we could like stumble upon that.
Mine was probably trash too. I wish.
I remember yours being way better than mine. And I'll tell you. So you made yours, and it was on like a cassette tape.
Yeah.
And you gave it to me, and it had like the beat on it, like the song. So it was,
how the fuck did I know how to do that? Put a beat on a cassette.
Honestly, I don't know. You like recorded. I don't know if it was like Kurt's house because Tony had like a lot of stereo equipment and everything.
Yeah, it probably was.
And I just remember using, I swear to God, this Fisher Price thing that had a microphone you could record onto a tape cassette.
I know the exact thing you're talking about.
So anyway, I played it. I can't remember how I like duplicated it and was able to play over
Isn't that crazy that we figured that out somehow?
I honestly don't know how
I don't even know how today. If you gave me a cassette and a Fisher Price thing, I wouldn't know how to do it today, bro. I would have no idea.
It had like AA batteries in it. I don't know. It was like the most rudimentary
thing,
and it sucked bad. But you gave me your portion, or I gave you a cassette tape that had my raps on it. Like,
and I put it on the beat somehow.
And you put it over top of.
So wait a minute. I must be really mistaken. Did we play this tape for the class? We did not perform.
No.
I envisioned myself at the front of the class beside Miss Adams' desk. Yep. So I just sat in my.
We're like, oh yeah, here's our presentation.
Click, and we sat in our desk.
We're like, yeah, this is sick.
Yo, I hope they like this. Oh, so that's what happened. That's cooler than just rapping in front of the class.
Yeah.
That's cool. So wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
I'm literally just learning this now. So I recorded both. You recorded your vocals. I recorded my vocals, and I put them both on a. How the fuck do you get Eminem's beat too? You can't. There was no YouTube
honestly,
wasn't a
it
thing.
Could have
then.
been like part of his song.
No,
and then
you know what?
Stopped it, put our vocals, and then played a little bit more of his song, and then stopped it.
I looped the intro.
Yeah,
I looped the intro.
Yes.
Or whatever, and I looped that, and then I put our vocals on it. Yeah. Bro, that's actually awesome.
Yep.
That we figured out how to do that.
I felt super cool. Like doing
oh my
a
god!
song
If
with
we
like
could
this
find
rapper,
that tape,
dude, like man,
but I wasn't a rapper back then. What was I a rapper back then? I feel like that was my first kind of rap thing.
I feel like it definitely was. You're like, oh, and you like wrote this thing that was like really good, and I was like racking my brain trying to write.
I think that I just thought that like anyone could do that. When I was like, I'm writing these rhymes to this beat, and it's all on beat, and it all rhymes and everything, and I'll just get Tanner to do it too.
Yeah,
I just thought it was.
And I was like, I wrote like, for lack of a better term, my poem, and then recorded it on this Fisher Price thing with
that's
a
amazing,
mic.
Dude.
And that was.
Bro, isn't that crazy that no matter how far I go with this rap shit or this podcast shit or whatever, you were always the guy that I literally started with. Yeah. So before I remembered, did that rhyme? That was bars. Yeah. I literally remember doing that and thinking that was my first rhyme ever. Yep. But I do think that before that I was rapping Eminem verses in the playground.
Yeah, definitely.
Or in the yard. We were grade 8. We weren't playing in the playground. We were like smoking in the bush and shit. But
we had sweaters on. Mom, I don't need my winter coat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no winter coats at all. Tear away fucking pants and shit. Yeah. Yo, who was that one dude with the like long shaggy hair that all the girls loved? Name started with a J.
James Allison.
No. Long shaggy hair, girls always loved. You were right.
Yeah.
I would have said snowboarder. I would have added snowboarder to that.
True.
This
like
guy,
fucking talented. Anything.
I don't know. Maybe he was into football. I don't know what he was into. But he took Mrs. Adams' chair and he took it out into the yard and rolled on it. Jordan Juanu. Yeah. Bro, in grade 8, he was like, bro. Jordan Juanu was
from our class, man. He was the class across the hall.
And he just came over.
And he just used to come over and hang out.
And like, take our teacher's chair.
Adams. Yeah.
So James Allison was, this is from my perspective. Yep. This isn't currently. Yep. James Allison was like the bully of the school. To me, everyone was kind of cool with it. He bullied me. Oh, no, wait. You got bullied too, dude.
James,
we were both in the same boat.
Full transparency. James and I had some issues. We're good.
Yeah, well, honestly, we're kids, man. We're kids, obviously.
And dude,
if I was a good-looking snowboarder, I would have been picking on everybody, bro. That's what I mean. No. But Jordan Juanu, he never picked on me though. But he was a hockey player. Hockey player.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So he was the same as James Allison, like that. Where like all the girls loved him, was super popular. Yeah. But I remember Jordan Juanu. He would fuck with the teachers, do all this stuff. But he was cool with me. Like he was cool. He was cool. Grade 8 was a crazy place, dude. Yeah. And so that's where I started rapping. And since then, you've like come to lots of my shows.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And like I've heard you yell in the crowd. You're like, I did his first rap with him, and you yelled. And then all the promoters and everything come up to me like, who's this Tanner guy? He keeps saying, he keeps wanting to arm wrestle me and saying that he wrote your raps back in the day.
Yeah. He's got a camo jacket on.
Bro, he said he wrote all your raps in grade 8, man. What's going on with that, bro? Okay, so love having you here. Yeah, that's like the intro, cool. I guess. That's the intro to.
This is super cool, man.
So, I hope you're not afraid of heights. We're on the
kind of trippy.
Yeah, we're on the 14th floor right now of
yeah, I like it.
In Brooklyn, downtown New York.
Great view.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Twin Towers there. So we must be before 2001.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about the Hawk. I wanted to talk about the Hawk and Wolf podcast. Have you ever heard of that? So Tony Hawk has a podcast.
Like the skateboarder. And
yeah, then there's Jason Wolf. Or wait.
I recognize that name, but
it's actually Jason Ellis, but he goes as the Wolf.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jason Ellis, he's got head tattoos. He's a stand-up comedian and a professional skateboarder.
Yep.
And he has a podcast with Tony Hawk.
That's cool.
So, and the podcast is all right. They have some good guests. I've
definitely seen clips. Now that you say that, I've definitely seen clips.
So, Tony Hawk announced, which is crazy because it's Tony fucking Hawk, right? He announced that he financially can no longer do the podcast.
That's crazy.
He said he's not getting enough.
Have enough money himself to just keep funding it, even if it was losing money.
Right? Yeah. But he said he's not getting enough views to even get the sponsors to just cover the podcast. Which is kind of crazy. So he can't even find Tony Hawk, like the god, can't find sponsors for his podcast.
Video games.
So he can't continue it. But I think the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I showed you how I run my podcast inside and out.
Yep.
I put zero money into it. Mm-hmm. The only effort I put into it is hanging out with a friend of mine.
Yep.
Which that's what I mean. I didn't have you on the podcast because you were the world arm wrestling champion, even though that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
And we established you weren't, but I do because like I get to hang out with a friend and do this, and it costs me no money. That's what the best part is. The thing is, the Hawk and Wolf podcast, they clearly have like staff members. Yeah. They're shooting in a commercial building. They could continue to do it, in my opinion, if they did it at Tony Hawk's house in the basement or wherever, and didn't have staff. Yeah. Like Tony Hawk learned how to just shoot your own thing.
Or I'm sure he has like helpers and stuff that would be able to go hit record and do whatever. But I think they're probably to a point where the quality is so high.
Yeah, you're right.
Can't.
You're right.
They can't. Like,
if they had this sort of quality, you're recording like this, and then they're going to be like, we can't give them that. But it's crazy because they have so many subscribers. They have so much stuff going on, and it's just like, and they stopped, which is kind of sad, man. I'm a big fan of. But to tell you the truth, I don't watch the podcast. I've seen it, but I don't like watch it. Yeah. Like neither do you. Nobody else that I know. So maybe
I'm not. If I was into skateboarding, like I watch arm wrestling podcasts.
Yeah, I guess
car podcast. Like I watch that kind of stuff. So if you're into skateboarding, then sure.
Yeah, I'm into skateboarding, but I guess not that much.
No.
I just like to watch Bam like shit himself on Instagram and yell at Dr. Phil or whatever he's up to. Yeah. And I like
he's all over the place. I don't know if he's like on the straight and narrow or if
he's never is, dude.
No,
he had like a conservatorship or something.
Yeah, but that's done now.
Is it? Yeah.
I think so.
He made up his own language, dude. And he was posting on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Like, this is my own language. Like, he's like insane. And he looks exactly like Phil. Yeah. Which is weird because I used to look at Phil and him and be like, how the fuck is that his dad? They look nothing alike. Yep. Now he looks exactly like Phil.
Yeah, and he's like put weight on and the whole deal.
Yeah. And I think he's still going hard in the paint, bro.
He's a G though.
Yeah, I love Ben. I love all the Jackass guys.
Yeah.
But I'm big into skateboarding. I like skateboarding. I like the games. I like to actually skateboard. I always love skateboarding. Yeah. But I'm just not into it enough to be watching.
Jackass was a big thing. That shit. Like when we were in school together, like grade 8, like Jackass was the shit.
Yeah.
Like that was.
If you notice, it all falls together. Like the last podcast I did, we're talking about Slipknot and backyard wrestling. Yeah. Oh my God, we can talk about that.
When you brought that up, that backyard wrestling.
Okay,
thing,
yeah. Because you know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Brad Brown.
Brown. Yep.
And
Bro, I know
Jesse Hamilton.
Yes.
Used to do it.
Oh, shout out to Jesse Hamilton.
Yeah,
I love Jesse. Man.
He's
been supporting everything I do always, man.
Oh,
really?
yeah,
yeah, always
awesome.
supporting my shit.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
Always a good dude.
Dylan Holmes used to do that too.
Yeah.
Haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah,
Dylan in a
yeah.
minute.
Oh, my
He's got,
God.
like, a wife
But
and
yeah,
kids
Brad
and all
Brown.
that. Yeah.
Who was that little dude? I don't know. That might have been rude. But
Kevin Mintz used to
Yeah,
do it.
Kevin Mintz.
Kevin Mintz.
Bro.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Kevin
that guy
Mintz is awesome.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Minty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we used to. So were you involved in the backyard wrestling? Were you there with me at all,
Dude,
or just with them?
Used to, like, beat the shit out of each other,
Bro,
like,
they used to
at
do
the skate park and like spear each other into ramps, like skateboard jumps.
Not even on camera.
Like,
They're like, jump in the hot shopping cart. We're gonna run you into this brick wall. And we're like, okay, and we're doing it. No one's filming
For no
any
adoration,
of this.
anything. It's just we know we're doing it.
And then we go to the basement and listen to Slipknot and be like, we're pretty much jackass boys. Yeah. Bro, we used to prank call. We prank called like Miss Adams. We prank called every teacher at that school. Me and Brad Brown and the boys.
Yeah.
Yo, what's Brad Brown doing? Is he on your
Dude,
Facebook or anything?
Oh yeah. No, he
introduced me to Slipknot.
So
everything.
He worked. So the TV show actually that my buddy owns and runs, the two different shows. Brad was filming for them. Like, Brad's a high-end
he's a
camera
film guy.
Yeah,
really?
Like, film and editing and everything. Oh, Brad's like...
Does he know how to work an iPhone 13?
Yeah.
Because I might have a job.
Probably. No, he's like legit.
That's sick,
no,
man.
he's like really
No, I should look
talented.
him up on Facebook and Adam, man.
No,
that's
do
awesome.
that,
No,
yeah.
he introduced me to backyard wrestling.
I bet you he'd film like music videos or like anything you're doing on the go.
It was either his or somebody else's. They like cut their forehead or something. I don't know. Or maybe it was a video he showed me. I don't know. He opened the door for me he showed me a life where we weren't under bridges smoking cigarettes and drinking stolen beers from our parents. Yeah. He showed me a life of, hey, you can still cause destruction and be a piece of shit in your own home. Yeah. And he showed me how to do prank calls, how to fucking break shit, break glass on your fucking trampoline, and listen to Slipknot. Yeah. Bro, I made a whole Slipknot outfit with the mechanic suit and the mask and everything.
Yeah, like the rag mask.
Yeah, because that was our plan. All of us were gonna make our own Slipknot outfit, our own take on it, and I did my take on Kory Taylor. Like, I did a mask with the dreads, and then I had a sewed mouth shut. I remember my dad helped me make it, man. Yeah,
that's cool.
Crazy. Yeah, Brad Brown, man. That's awesome. He does film and stuff now. That's pretty crazy.
No, he's like super talented. Yeah.
Yo, it's so
I haven't
crazy
seen him for
that we're talking about this
years,
and everyone doesn't know who the
well,
fuck it is.
there might be a couple
But this
people.
is for us, man. But if you're still tuned in and you're still listening, you know, mad respect. But this is how we grew up, all right? Yeah. So, like, you're from Minden?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're from Minden. I would say from Minden. I did kindergarten in Minden. Okay. And then my parents divorced. I moved to Peterborough. Yeah. But then I was in Minden every weekend up until grade 8. Right. And then I moved in with my dad in grade 8. And then grade 8 and grade 9 in Minden. Yeah. So that's just kind of the backstory.
Oh, yeah. You did come to high school in grade 9.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
They asked me not to come back pretty soon. So then I went to that alternative program. Right. And I met a pastor. And I went to church, and I lived in Halliburton. I bought an apartment. Yeah. I rented an apartment in Halliburton, and I was trying to get my life together and stuff, and came back to Peterborough though.
Yeah, I remember seeing you in Halliburton. That's when we kind of reconnected.
Yeah, and that was before the rap thing. I had a DVD. Remember?
This was after we were out of high school, and I ran into you in town.
Right.
And then you gave me one of your CDs that you had just done. Yeah, and it was something sword.
Pen is mightier than the sword. The longest CD title of all time.
Yeah,
The pen is mightier than the sword. I thought that was such a good title, but it's so
all
long.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, at work. Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. It was crazy. The whole album is on my YouTube if you want to check it out. Yeah. That's the first album I recorded with Jay Nice, with Psych Ward. Psych Ward's on it, too. Yeah. All produced by Jay Nice, pretty much. And, yeah, man. So when I lived in Halliburton, I was started Northstar DVD. Do you remember that at all? It was like street fights, freestyles. Okay. I shot a guy with frozen paintballs. Yeah. It was like Jackass mixed with freestyles, mixed with like fight footage. and it was called Northstar DVD. I was kind of trying to copy like Rap Sheet DVD and all these other DVDs that were coming out. This is before like YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that's, you know, Jamos.
Yes.
Do you?
I know the name for sure.
So Jamos went to King of the Dot and battled Sharon.
Yes.
Sharon's very first battle.
Yep.
Jamos had a North Star shirt.
Sharon.
And he's like, here's your North Star shirt. Throws it at him.
Yeah.
And so North Star was that DVD. Jamos I met doing the North Star DVD.
That's cool.
And he battled Sharon for Sharon's first battle, where Sharon skyrocketed because he annihilated Jamos so bad.
Sharon is still... He's killing it, man.
But I gotta just say this because Jamos is probably watching. Jamos is a great one of the best freestylers I've ever fucked. Like he'll have, I mean, he said this thing. I serve more in the morning. I serve fiends in the morning. Like I worked at Tim Hortons or something like that. Like, but he would come up with these punchlines like on the spot. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, he would just go and go. There's a few people, like, obviously, Lukeman's a good freestyler. Mo Flows, who I'm going to on the podcast, I think, next. Great freestyler. Cool. But yeah, Jamos was really good at that. Yeah. So if you look at the battle between Sharon and Jamos, and you realize Jamos is 100%, he's freestyling, it's off the top, you kind of realize, oh, shit. Jamos didn't do too bad. Yeah. Not that Sharon wasn't off the top, because back in the day, it was kind of like you were supposed to act like it was freestyle, whether it was written or not. Now King of the Dot, of course, everyone knows it's written. But back in the day, it was like, so Jamos is like stepping in the ring with pure freestyles against someone who, in my opinion, just had some shit kind of, Sharon's a best, is amazing freestyler. Yeah, no, like Sharon's amazing really freestyler. Good.
Yeah. His
and so
really
that's what happened. It was the rebuttals that killed Jamos. So I can't really take that win away from Sharon because he was freestyling.
Beat him
like even if his big punches were written, but like he even pointed out Organic's jersey in the battle and was like, you get 8 like the number on his shirt, like so shit like that. So like you could tell he was freestyling.
Oh yeah.
Who's your favorite battler of all time?
Pat Stay.
Pat Stay? Of all time?
Well, I haven't followed. Well, I did follow it pretty closely.
No. You know about it. I know battle rap. I would say 80% out of 100. Yeah. You're there with me. Well, we haven't seen all battles of everyone.
No,
like, I don't know.
No, but I just
the good ones.
He was just like that.
Pat Stay's my favorite
white
too.
Dude, like that, Canadian, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Like, just sick.
And I love the.
And he was mean and like intimidating,
but mixed with comedy.
Yes.
And that's my favorite.
Yep.
That's anyone who and I
on people.
I like Disaster a lot because he did the same thing where he'd be like, "Da-da-da, from Lebanon with the weapons drawn and blah blah blah," like a leprechaun. He's shorter than a leprechaun, and he's just like. But then he'll also be like, just like goof around and like be funny. Yeah. But Pat Stay, like he did that. He was a professional at that.
Hilarious.
Do you remember that interview that he did?
Rap, he'd do stand-up comedy.
Right. Yeah. Do you remember that interview that he did? I don't know. Maybe you saw it. Maybe this will refresh your memory. He did an interview, and he was sitting a chair across from a girl, and he put up his feet on either side of her armrest of the chair and just did the whole interview like that. So she was like in between his legs, like interviewing him. Yeah. It was so awkward, but he was laid right back and he was just hilarious. Like, "What's up, Pat Stay?" Like he just, yeah, man, so good. Yeah. What's your favorite Pat? Man. Yeah. What's your favorite Pat Stay battle?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Pat Stay verse. You're like, his compilation. His compilation of best rounds is probably my favorite battle. Do you remember like him versus Disaster? We didn't freshen up on any of that. I haven't watched battles in so long. Honestly,
dude.
Me either. But there was an era where me and you were really into it. Because I'd message you like every day. Like, you see this one? You're like, just watched it. Yeah. You're like, I just watched that, bro. I'm like, you see this one? You're like, yep, watching it right now.
Oh, it's so good.
But now we're both kind of out of it. Because you know what happened? King of the Dot went behind a paywall.
Yes. Yeah.
And like,
it's not on YouTube.
They lost us. Yeah. They lost a lot of guys like us that aren't paying for it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Pat Stay murder trial, we didn't even talk about that. So Pat Stay was murdered.
Yes.
He was stabbed in the heart, dude. And then he walked and died. Yeah, which is crazy.
Awful,
But he's lured there by the guy who owned the club. Is what I could be wrong about this shit, but I'm pretty sure like. Yeah. And so what I'm hearing now is that the trial is still ongoing, and the guy's lawyer that killed Batsay, his lawyer has now became a judge. So now he needs to get another lawyer. Yeah. So now the trial has been put back. Yeah. The trial has been put back and everything, but nobody really knows what's going on. But here's the thing, bro. They have no evidence. No. I saw Organic and who's the kid? Roan. Yeah. I saw Roan and Organic like pleading online, being like, please, if you were there and you know anything, you have to say something. Because they have no evidence. Yeah. It's all circumstantial. Yeah, so the guy might actually get away with it, which is fucked. And here's the craziest part, is he has 2 other murder charges that he had dropped, and then another attempted murder that he got dropped. So, and now, obviously, So now, like they're worried about that shit.
Wow.
But
that's unreal.
But yeah, man, I guess we should start wrapping up. But I really wanted to talk about TikTok, man. TikTok is gone. Yep. Not for me though. You still have it?
No, I never got it in the first place.
Oh, you really? You never had it in the first place?
Nope.
Nice.
I refused. Yeah.
So I was that guy too who didn't get it. Yeah. When I started doing the podcast, I did get it, and I started posting clips and stuff. But I still have it.
A lot of people. Well, it's.
I think Canada still has it. Right. So I was
in the
thinking.
States, I think it just like.
Yeah. No, it's gone. Yeah, in the States, it's gone. So I was thinking, this is perfect for Canadians. Now we can get a bunch of views. We can get a bunch. So I pushed really hard on TikTok in the last day. Yep. Nothing really changed. Yeah. But did you hear about the new TikTok? No. The Code Red app or whatever. It's all Chinese. The name of it's Chinese.
I always thought like TikTok
was a Chinese word anyway.
It was run by the Chinese.
Like, somebody said, you know why they called it TikTok?
Spyware or whatever.
Because they knew it was going to get deleted, and they knew it was TikTok. It was just counting down until they deleted it. Yeah, okay. And I was like, oh, the conspiracy. But there's this new app, and I posted a bunch of stuff on it and got a bunch of followers and stuff. I don't know if it's going to be the new thing, but it's all Chinese, man. I can't really read it.
I had a lot of people ask me. They just assumed I had a TikTok or whatever because of the videos I make on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, I just edit them all through Instagram, so it's like.
Yeah, well, that's the best way to do it.
Like, I don't know. I've never done the TikTok thing, but I think they had like a pretty good editing.
What type of views are you getting on Reels on Instagram? I remember decent. Yeah, I remember you were getting a couple thousand and shit.
Like yeah. No, I like. Couple like 100K or whatever.
Wow, 100K?
Yeah, when there was like songs.
That's more than Chop Chop, dude.
Yeah. When there was songs that were like trending.
Yeah.
But there was a period of time when the viewership was really, really high. Right, and then like the algorithms changed, and then everybody across the board, like all their viewership went down.
Yeah. Do you just do like car videos online and stuff? Have you gotten into doing any? I know you do like some arm wrestling videos and stuff.
Yeah, arm wrestling.
You're not getting into that content, or just sticking with cars, or
cars, trucks, like truck pulls,
trains,
stuff
planes,
like that. Automobiles. Yeah. Just that kind of stuff.
I remember your first car videos, bro. I was so fucking proud and happy. I was like, can't rap for shit, but look at him go. Yeah, bro. Yeah, well, like thanks for coming through, brother. Tight grip on this guy. Tight grip on this guy. Yeah, man. We go way back. That's
wrestler handshake, by the way.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. It's one of these. It's not like this little.
It's not. Yeah.
It's like, what's up, dude?
Yeah. Bro, you have a solid hand, though.
Yeah.
Let's do an arm wrestle, bro. We have to. I know we're not going to do something proper. Let me feel your strength, bro. Let me feel your strength. Holy fuck.
You're pretty good. Like that.
Stop
that's
it,
good.
dude.
That's
Stop.
Good. Like pulling in this way.
Yeah. Well, you taught me that, man. You said you can pull towards you, bro.
Yeah. No, that's
so I just beat the arm wrestling champ of the world.
Did.
You saw that.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you guys.